Great, great, great. We are here today. It's 1 p.m. Kenyan time. Yet again, we have a very exciting session on our Candid Money Talk, episode 16. And for those who are joining us for the first time, I'm Edith Sidondo. I'm a certified money coach, always here to pour my heart to you, to share with you very insightful and educative aspects around money. And the aim of this session is for all of us to elevate our financial well-being without chasing money. So allow me to share my screen so that we just get right into it. It's always very exciting to have this session, the Candid Money Talk. So on our episode 16, and right now we are at a stage where our topics are being informed or they're being driven by the questions that we get asked from all the people who are following us on the various social media channels that live on. We are live on Instagram, we are live on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, and on LinkedIn. And all those accounts are right there on my screen. So based on your questions, we get to address them in these forums so that you find the sessions meaningful and they help you to make specific shifts on your money dynamics. So the question was, is there any other way with money aside from living paycheck to paycheck? Is there any other way with money aside from living paycheck to paycheck? And living paycheck to paycheck is a very unpleasant financial reality for many people. And it's something many people keep quiet about. It's the reason why people get into consumeristic debt, because you find you're literally scrambling, And this is what living paycheck to paycheck means. It means you are scrambling to make ends meet. And ends meet here, we are talking about basic needs to get them to survive up to the end of the month becomes a difficulty. Yet you find you have your family, you have a family to take care of, maybe illness comes in, death comes in, or things that even are outside your basic needs keep pulling you from one corner to another. So you're scrambling to make ends meet, or you're seated at the edge of your seat on the 5th of every month, or even before, and hoping the salary comes in before your landlord knocks your door, or before that person you owe money knocks the door, or before the person who drops milk needs to be paid, or your house help needs to be paid, or you need to fuel the car for children to go to school. So you're literally sitting on the edge of your seat. Or all your money comes in and goes right back out again at the end of the month, and sometimes way before the month ends. So you're literally a courier. You receive the money from your employer or your business, and your work is just to transfer it out, in, out. And this is happening before you've completed the month. And it creates this sense of discomfort. And what we are talking about here, living paycheck to paycheck, it's irrespective of your income levels. It means even if you get a salary rise, even if you get more money in your business, it does not translate into a sense of financial security. Why? Because there's that disparity. Your income it tends to be always lower than the demands that you have. Your expenses are always higher. Yeah. So there's more going out than coming in. So it causes this feeling of you're always under pressure. And if we look at the next diagram, where your expenses are exactly equals to your income. So we are saying that, and here we are looking at your monthly expenses. So if anything comes up that is outside what you've named your monthly expenses, it means then it forces you to go into debt. It forces you to find other means to meet those expenses, because what comes in goes out in equal measure. So this is a tight spot. It's a tight spot. And interestingly, studies show that middle class tend to have this optimistic view of finances, where you always are in a state of sometimes what we call false abundance, that things will work out. And you're more likely to feel confident that you can strike the right balance between spending now and saving in the future. So all this is just in your mind. But the reality, the reflection in your numbers, in your bank account, tell us something else. They show this kind of a diagram, where there is no, even saving is not something that can be, there's no space for that. Yeah. So living paycheck to paycheck. So this is it. Ideally, what all of us would desire is to live in a state of financial well-being, a state where you have control over your day-to-day, month-to-month finances. And having control means you're not scrambling to pay expenses. You more or less have clarity where money is coming from, where it's going. You have the capacity to absorb financial shock, where whatever happens in between the month, it doesn't sweep you off your feet and takes you off balance. You are on track to meet your financial goals. And here your financial goals are things we are looking at into the future. We are not just having a narrow view of today and tomorrow, and we don't know how the whole month or the whole year or the year after, 5 years from now, will play out. You have the financial freedom to live in choice, yeah? Where your time is not controlled by someone else. That is a desire that we all have, to live in a state of financial well-being. But this just doesn't happen. There's a process to it. There's a whole system to it. Yeah? There's no secret to success. There's a system to success. And that is what we need to all discover, so that we are in a state where our income always supersedes our expenses. That then gives you a new way to deal with your money. You begin to think of saving, you begin to have something to retain, and that which you retain, you begin growing it so that you get into that state of financial well-being. So, for you to be able to do this, it requires you to go on an inner journey. I must mention something. When you go for maybe seminars, or you read books, or you go on online videos or podcasts, and you listen to ways to get out of a state of living paycheck to paycheck, often you will hear aspects that deal with financial planning, which in themselves are very, very good. Yeah, aspects like you need to make a budget. Yeah, you need to track your expenses. You only need to spend on important things, on needs and not wants. You need to save. You need to reduce on your debt. You need to change lifestyle and all this. These aspects are all good. But the reality is, often after listening to them and beginning to put them into practice, you find after 6 months, after 1 year, you default back to the old patterns, to the old way of doing things. So you find you often go for a remedy, a measure, like a seminar, so that I can now work on my finances. You come back when you are on your own, something seems to take you back to your old way of doing things. It means there's something else on the driver's seat of your money that is just not the seminars and the transactional aspects that you do. Financial planning in itself, it's not enough. And that is what introduces us to what is on my screen, which is a process that goes on your inside to find the hardwired patterns that drive your money behavior. This is digging the problem from the root. Let's say we have a tree out here, or wherever you are. You have this tree that maybe is producing unpleasant fruits that are maybe dangerous to the community, to the children, and you want to root it out. Even if you cut the branches severally, they'll keep coming back up. They'll keep growing. So ideally, what needs to do to get rid of this tree, you need to go and root it out, pluck it out from the roots to get it out as a permanent solution to that problem. It's the same thing with your money behavior. Unless you root out the problem from where it is originating from, you'll find that you'll keep defaulting back to certain ways of doing things with your money. So often you find people saying that what I need is just more money. I just need to get another job that pays me more. But ideally, when you really look at, even when you've doubled your salary, when it comes to your financial well-being, there's no difference. Why? Because of the patterns that drive your money behavior. So when you look back, you keep wondering, and all that changed was maybe your title. Maybe now you can afford more, and maybe your office location and the people you deal with. But ideally, when we look at your bank account and your money stress, your sense of security around your money, you are still in the same level where you were before the double salary increment. So let's get to the root cause. What makes us deal with money the way we do? We do in a way that we feel stuck. We feel we are always living paycheck to paycheck, moving on the same point, just gravitating on the same point. So for you to root out this problem, the first step is to begin to book your discovery call. Your discovery call is a session where you'll have answered a discovery questionnaire and done your money archetype quiz. The money archetype quiz will score you on these 8 money archetypes, which are attributes that define how you're patterning, you're patterned around money. So once you've done your discovery questionnaire and your money archetype quiz, we meet on a discovery call. On that discovery call, we interpret for you what your quiz is telling us. It's the same way you go to a doctor and you have a headache, and the doctor tries to diagnose what is the cause of the headache. That is what these two processes do for us. And with that diagnosis, we give you a clear roadmap for you to begin your journey of your money transformation by rooting out the problem from the source. So on this same link, where we will be giving you this start guide to elevate your financial well-being, and this is a free gift from us. There is a link on this video. Click on that link, get a copy of your ebook, and at the same time, go ahead and book for your session, your discovery call session, so that you can begin to root out this problem of living paycheck to paycheck, which often many people live in denial. You say, after all, everyone else is doing it. This is how life is in the city or nowadays. You justify something that is not normal. It is not normal to be earning a 6-figure salary and you have no money. We can't make that to be normal. It is not normal to be constantly looking for more, higher and higher jobs to earn more. And yet you're constantly broke. You're constantly scraping through your bag for change, looking for the next credit card. These things are not normal, and we cannot afford to make them normal. Because remember, as we make them normal and justify why we are doing them, we are passing them on to the next generation. And we cannot afford to educate our children to want the best grades for them to be stressed about money. That is not a pleasant future that we are preparing for your children. But the change begins with you, and you cannot give what you don't have. You need to first work on yourself for you to be in a state of financial well-being, for you to pass on the right things to the next generation. I'm quite excited that we've had this session. I believe it's been of value to you. Remember to like, to share, and to comment and tell us what spoke to you in this episode 16 of the Candid Money Talk. And click the link on this video so that you can get a copy of your simple start guide to elevate your financial well-being. Once you have your copy, book your discovery call, and let's meet you on the other side. See you on the next episode.